How you doing, everybody? My name is Bob Nowak. I'm the director of the Town Boys and Girls Club. And the reason I'm doing this because I'm probably the longest lasting director there is. 42 years of running the Boys and Girls Club. I'm here just to say a few things about the club and some of the interesting things that happen over the years. My point of this little video that we're doing is it seemed to get to the point now we're at that nobody wants to take care of the average kid. And what I call average, the kid that may have a mother and father and doing well in school and seems to get along with everybody. It almost seems like they're being punished for being good. And our goal here at the club is not only to take care of the kids with the extreme needs, but the average kid. And over the years, it is proven if you keep them busy and active, they become better people as they grow up. And how do I know that? Obviously, after 42 years, they're young men and women and are sending their kids back here. The sell to that is very difficult. But that's our goal here. And every day we find both mix. The hardcore kid, the kid that needs extra help, which our staff does with, but just keeping the average kid a place to go. We used to take all the hardcore kids, they call them hardcore, difficult kids, to every Sabres game, every that. And they appreciate it in a way, but we'd leave out our kids that were doing well. And our goal is now to blend it in between both of them. Over the years, I've had heartbreaking experiences from fights at the club, and we'd have to deal with that, to kids that needed extra help, where you'd actually have to go in their homes and try to work out that difficulty. And unfortunately, we tie shoes, wipe noses, and hopefully prevent bullying and suicide. We've had the ups and downs of all that. Some of the things, I've had kids that were misbehaved write some letters. I'm going to read a couple quick ones to you. Just the average kid that needed some help. I got to turn on my Rite Aid glasses here. This one is from, I just mentioned, Kenneth. It says, "I'm so sorry for doing what I did, and I apologize to the persons and parents of the kid that I hit. I hit him for something stupid that happened in the past. If you could please just forgive me, and you'll never hear people say again that Kenny was starting more trouble. I'm a lover, not a fighter. You got my word before the club that I was not smoking pot. The club helps me stay off the street. Please give me one more chance." For a young person to write a letter like that, because you remember the Boys and Girls Club isn't a place where you have to be. It's somewhere you want to be. This isn't a school where you have to attend. So to have somebody want to come back that much, it means a lot to the club and our staff. And again, this was written by a young man that now works at 3M and is actually head of personnel. And it was a while ago, but you can see how he turns around and he comes back and he says, "The best times of my life were at the Town Boys and Girls Club." So there again is a true story that happens every day here. Okay? All right. Another story there, boys. This one is sad but true. I had a young man come to the club, and he was a super kid. One of those gifted kids that came in happy every day, and I got to know him. Now, this club I ran, it was called the Projects. It was Schaefer Village Projects. It was a very, very difficult area at the time, still is, but very needed for the Boys and Girls Club. And we met some interesting characters, to say the least. Every night was a challenge. We had lack of equipment, lack of staff. It was in a basement, and we made the best. Everything was run by duct tape, and it was almost like the dead end kids move it. But this boy, his name was Anthony, came in, and we raised him at the club year after year, became a junior staff member, and eventually he became Youth of the Year. But unfortunately, over the summer, when we were at camp and the club was closed, we came back that fall, and Anthony, excuse me, was, I guess you would say it had a rough summer and turned to the dark side. When I went to rehire him back as junior staff, they said, I don't think you'll like to see what happened to Anthony. Anthony, like some of the other boys and girls we had over the years, turned to drugs, turned to sales of drugs, and really went to the dark side. Well, after he was caught for his misbehaving and things like that, he was sent to jail. And he called me continuously apologizing for what he did, and he wanted to write a small letter so he could come back and tell some of the other members. Now this is from one extreme to the other. A former member of our club was just sentenced to 25 years to life for drug distribution of crack cocaine. Anthony was not only a member of our club, he became a junior staff and a future Youth of the Year. But over the summer, Anthony turned to the dark side. Money and power became his way of life. He would visit our club and say hello and show off his new things that he bought with his drug money. It hurt my staff and myself to know that the club was no longer a part of his life, but the streets have become more important. Well, we stopped seeing and hearing from Anthony, but when he made the paper for selling drugs, it surprised everyone, including myself. Then on Tuesday afternoon, the phone rang at the club. It was Anthony. He was calling from jail. Anthony was crying on the phone to me and apologizing for letting the other members down and myself. He said he would do anything he could so that other members did not end up where he is. I asked him if he'd do a video about his mistakes he made on the streets. I want to show the other club members, one of our own, that had to learn the hard way. He agreed with thoughts and prayers that it would save someone's life. So I guess what I'm trying to say is, even past members who spent a third of their lives in jail wants to give back to the one thing he loved most, the town Boys and Girls Club. Crazy how business can become involved in such tragedy. But the staff of the town Boys and Girls Club love all members, for whom, even if they make mistakes that are unforgivable. Sincerely, Anthony. And that's another example that as they get along in life, as hard as it is for them, they always remember who gave most. And it was sad.